The forecourt here. I've been a host at Turner Classic Movies for 21 years. That is it's a long time to have the same job in this town. Which brings me to our honoree, Jodie Foster. Born here in Los Angeles, at 3 years old, Jodie was in a commercial for Coppertone. Don't be a pale face, use Coppertone, the ad said. She was on a boat with her commercial parents, wearing quite possibly a diaper. It's hard to tell. When Jodie is on talk shows, they sometimes play the commercial, and she clearly loves that. Then there were, as she followed along and became an actor, there were 4 or 5 kid roles, including a movie called, by the way, Kansas City Bomber. That was a Raquel Welch roller derby movie. None of those 4 or 5 movies, they're all fine. That's not why we're here, because between December 1974 and December of 1976, Jodie appeared in 6 movies. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, Echoes of Summer, Bugsy Malone, The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, Freaky Friday, and Taxi Driver. The last 5 of those movies, were all released in 1976. That was the year, at the end of the year, that she turned 14. All of those movies made when she was either 12 or 13. She is nothing short of amazing in every single one of those movies. She impressed director Martin Scorsese so much in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which, by the way, won the great Ellen Burstyn the Academy Award for Best Actress, that Scorsese then cast her in Taxi Driver. It completely changed my life, Jodie told the New York Times in 1991 as she was promoting a film called Silence of the Lambs. She said, it was the first time anybody asked me to create a character that was not myself. It was the first time I realized that acting wasn't this hobby you just sort of did, but there was actually some craft involved. I really believe that Jodie Foster would have earned her handprints and footprints outside this wonderful legendary theater if she had stopped her acting career after 1976. I mean, have you seen Bugsy Malone? Have you seen The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane? Have you seen Alice, right? Have you seen Freaky Friday? Have you seen Taxi Driver? That is not a kid actor, that is an actor. But of course, Jodie did not stop. She made the difficult transition to adult roles and has quite simply become one of the great actors of her generation. I love this business and I love this town, I really do. But Jodie made a huge impression on me that day. She is kind, she is thoughtful, she is contemplative, she is honest, she is forgiving, she is decent. I think Jodie Foster represents the best this town has to offer, and I'm honored that she allowed us to put together this ceremony to enshrine her handprints and footprints outside this theater today.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So obviously there is much about Jodie Foster that you already know and you've just heard. Her abundant Academy Award-winning talent, her fierce dedication to her work, both as an actor, producer, and director for the past 59 years. Is that correct? Is that the math? Wow.
What year is she born? 61?
She's a creative force and is committed to the work she loves, with great performances from that very young age of 3 to this last year at 60, as Bonnie Stoll in Naiad, and her brilliant work as Liz Danvers in Night Country, True Detective. She is also a loving wife and a dedicated mother to her 2 grown sons, has a great respect for education, and yes, she graduated from Yale. Whatever. She has many well-earned shiny things recognizing her beautiful work as an artist and as a human. Jodie has intelligence, passion, and an internal and external stride and sense of purpose that makes everyone around her feel better about themselves and about what they're doing together. But these are mere glimpses of Jodie, impressions, if you will, made like hands and feet pressed into the ground, forever reminding us of the person we feel we know. But since this wonderful moment is about a recognition of her life in films and television that we all know about, I thought I'd take my time here to tell you people what you don't know. You don't know that she is a maniac about sports and politics. She spends a lot of time reading the news and doing spelling bee, and that she loves parades. In fact, when her wife, the artist, activist, and filmmaker Alex Hedison, graduated with her advanced degree, to celebrate Alex's graduation, Jodie hired a marching band who showed up outside their home, and Jodie and all of their friends in attendance, me included, marched up and down the street with them, Jodie with a baton and a stunned Alex leading the way. Jodie Foster also loves holidays and is known to host a Christmas pageant in costume as Mary, where she takes the part seriously by wearing a wig and stuffing a pillow in her shirt and going door to door in their neighborhood with kids in tow as the wise men and shepherds. She loves caroling. She takes family pictures wearing matching green and red striped pajamas. She's also a Green Bay Packers fan, and yes, Jodie Foster wears foam cheese heads every football season, and she gets very involved in sports brackets and will hold lengthy discussions with other sports fanatics about her team and all of their players. Before elections, Jodie Foster sends a list of all of her recommendations to all of her friends, and they then in turn send it to their friends, because during an election cycle, Jodie Foster has taken the time and actually has read about all of the candidates and all of their pros and cons of each proposition, as she recognizes that many of us don't have the time or patience to do that deep dive, to understand what it is or who it is we are voting for, and how important it is to be informed. And she shares her thoughts and hopes for us as a country and as a group of people. She is telling you, I will get the call, did you get Jodie's list? And then I pass it on. She is also soft and funny and romantic and beautiful, and I could and would go on and on and on, but the cement is ready. And so, as we are all gathered here to bear witness as she joins a very small group of artists with her hands and feet and name permanently concretized in cinema history, I want to remind us all that once in a while, just once in a while, the stars really do align in a magical way. And so on this day, Friday, the 19th of April, this Freaky Friday, if you will, there is an amazing connect the dot between Jodie and me, both born and raised in the same city, in the same industry, both who starred in versions of the same movie 27 years apart, but who met outside of show-off business and who became part of a group of best friends who suit up and show up for each other in a very powerful and beautiful way. And that today, Friday, April 14th, 2024. 19th, sorry, who said, what did I say? 14th. You made me nervous. But that today April 19th, 2024, is also the actual 10th anniversary of her marriage to Alex. And that lets us all know that the stars have indeed aligned. The circle of creativity and community and friendship is complete, and so there is nothing else for me to say except that it makes me incredibly happy to introduce you to my friend, Jodie Foster.
Jamie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting all dressed up and crossing the 405. Yeah, I just, usually we're in our pajamas having a very early dinner with our friends Patty and Hans, usually at their place because they cook so much better than we do. And hanging out and laughing and throwing the ball for Rooney, your dog, about 100 million times. So I'm just so grateful that you made the effort to show up for me. It's just, I love you so much. For this crazy, absurd, wonderful thing. Hollywood, for me, is, I grew up here. So I grew up on Cahuenga. Do you guys know Cahuenga? Okay, I grew up off Cahuenga. Well, my sister's here, so she knows. And Hollywood to me was, barbecues in the summertime and a night blooming jasmine growing outside my mom's bathroom window that we used to smell, and right near the Hollywood Bowl, we would hear the Hollywood Bowl. My brother would, ride his mini bike up and down the hills, and my one sister, Connie, my nice sister, she taught me how to read, but she also taught me how to fold sheets. And that's one of my memories I have, is like folding big giant sheets at the laundromat down on Franklin. And my other sister, who's trouble, I remember her taking me and throwing eggs at people on Hollywood Boulevard. Isn't that terrible? And I have another memory of my troubling sister where she decided she would babysit me, so she took me with all of her friends in the car, and then we got into the back of the Pacific Theater without paying. She put me in a seat, and then she left me there. I think I was like 6 or something. She left me in the theater to watch Little Big Man, which is a very long movie. And I had to stay through the whole, the intermission part, and then watch it again from the beginning, and then she came back and picked me up. Which actually was not child abuse. It was actually fine, because I was in a movie theater, and I couldn't have been more happy and safe to see one of the greatest movies ever made. If you ever get a chance to see Little Big Man, I'll never forget it. So Hollywood for all of us in a way is this symbol space that's about iconography and about dreams and fantasies, and for me it isn't. It's very concrete. For me, it wasn't that the experience that I had was coming here with my mom and my brothers and sisters and going to Musso and Frank's, and then putting my feet in the cement and measuring my feet to the other people. And yes, of course, saying, ooh, someday I would want that, but not because I wanted to be a movie star, but because I wanted to be real. I wanted to be real. I wanted to be a real person, and a real person puts their hands and feet in cement, and somehow what they do matters, not just for this generation, but for other generations. So that was some kind of crazy fantasy that I had about belonging, which brings me here today, because here I am with my family, right? I mean, my family of friends. My oldest friend, Clara Lisa, my old friend. Lucy says that, so we used to laugh about that. And some of my newest friends, Diana Nyad and Bonnie Stoll, who I played in Nyad. It just is, it's so extraordinary to see everybody together, Mary. I mean, all my people, Issa from True Detective. It's an extraordinary thing to bring us all here together. I wish my boys were here, but someday they will marvel at my funny toes and will make fun of me mercilessly when they see it. But I really the person that I have to thank the most really is my wife, Alex, who I cannot believe was so generous to give up our 10-year anniversary day to come and do this with me. Like, what are you thinking? How come you didn't say no? I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for the life we have together. And this life, you know, my whole life, this has been my whole life, has been making films, living in Hollywood, creating a family of friends to do it with. This is my life. I love my life, and I'm so grateful that all of you guys think I'm okay and that I deserve to be in cement. I feel so blessed. So yeah, can't wait, guys. Of course, the thing that I forget the most is all the people that work with me that have become my family. You know, we have a team, so we've got Jennifer and we have Brett and Samantha, who's not here, but you know, she gave me this outfit to wear. Conte's here instead. Matt Saver, been with me forever. Joe Funicello, I'm so glad to see you. We get to see each other now. He's very busy doing much more important things than the movie business. My agents, Hilda and Chris, are here. Just all the people that work with us, the team that works with us. And for any of you that make movies, I know Simone and Sean are here, Renat and Leanna, all my friends, Alan. For any of you guys who make movies, you know how important sitting on that set at 3 a.m, drinking really bad coffee and complaining to everyone, how those are the memories that you take with you. And that's also somewhere here in the cement. Thanks, guys.
There we go. I'll just get her feet. This way. To your left. To your left.